If you're an institutional investor that uses an OCIO or outsourced chief investment officer, this video is for you. This is Brian Schroeder with OCIO Monitor. Let's get started. Today, most OCIOs charge a percentage of AUM. That means if assets under management goes up, so do the fees. This does not account for any changes in costs to the OCIO. But we all know that AUM over time is largely driven by market beta and cash flows. This combination creates the potential for what we call the OCIO fee trap, which simply means over time an OCIO can be paid increasingly more regardless of their actual value add. Take this example. Imagine you're a pension plan with a 7% actuarial return rate, and you hit that 7% compound annual growth rate exactly for the 10-year period ending 2021. Following the rule of 72, that means your AUM, and thus the fees paid to your OCIO, likely doubled. But did you know for that period, a 7% compound annual growth rate would have put you in the 90th percentile for pension plans? If you're an endowment, foundation, high net worth, or family office, paying double for 90 percentile performance isn't a legal concern. But under ERISA, you have to ask the question, is a 100% fee increase reasonable for 90th percentile performance? You see, the Department of Labor interprets ERISA that you must pay only reasonable fees in light of the quality and quantity of services provided. So that means a reasonable fee must be compared against something. And for OCIO, that's their performance. Just look at the following two OCIOs. OCIO A charges 5 basis points per year, seemingly cheap, but they lose 45 basis points in terms of added value. That means negative 0.5% every year. OCIO B charges 4 times more, yet has 55 basis points of annual added value to net out to 35 basis points to the good. Fees cannot be looked at in isolation. There must be a comparison. With this comparison, paying 4 times more to OCIO B is defendable. This is a very interesting slide. You're going to end up in one of these quadrants, markets up, down, OCIO outperforms or underperformed over any time period. Obviously, when the OCIO is outperforming and the markets are up, everyone wins. Similarly, if the markets are down and your OCIO outperforms, you're down less. When markets are down and your OCIO underperforms, interests are still aligned. Everyone loses. Here is where it gets interesting. If the markets are up and your OCIO underperforms, it creates a heads I win, tails you lose situation. For example, imagine you're a $1 billion pension plan and the OCIO charges 10 basis points. That comes out to $1 million. Now, if your asset allocation, passively invested, delivered 14% and you actually got 9%, that means your plan is light $50 million, but not only do you give them their $1 million that they had before, but also a $90,000 increase. So you're paying $1,090,000 to be light $50 million. When using a percentage of AUM fee, the client has limited downside relief. Adopting a performance fee closes this alignment gap, plus creates other fantastic benefits. Depending on the size of your OCIO and how they manage, whether they use active, passive, illiquid alternatives, and so forth, it's very possible that your OCIO may have to choose between clients, even if they're a fiduciary to all of them. A performance fee will make you a priority client, meaning higher conviction managers, rebalancing priority, funding withdrawal priority, and access to capacity constrained managers and vehicles. And ultimately, you will get the most senior personnel working on your account if you adopt a performance fee. Before we describe for you OCIO Monitor's performance fee administration, let's discuss why other methods to measuring OCIO performance fall short. First, sticking with the pension fund with the 7% actuarial rate, if you were to compare returns against that 7% rate, imagine say you got 17%, could you say that the OCIO delivered 10 percentage points of outperformance? Conversely, if you had a negative 3%, you couldn't lay that 10 percentage points difference all at the OCIO's feet. It is largely driven by market beta, which dwarfs your OCIO's alpha. In addition, defined contribution plans and health and welfare plans seldom have such return rate goals. Next, most OCIOs and investment consultants provide a custom total plan benchmark to compare actual returns versus this normally passive measurement. What that is, how it changes, what does it reflect, what about fees and cash flows can kind of obscure what is the OCIO's value add. A properly constructed benchmark will normally only show the aggregate alpha of the underlying managers. Finally, these custom benchmarks are easily gamed to create the appearance of alpha by undermeasuring beta. Finally, many peer universes are available, except understand that every OCIO client relationship is unique, managed under unique circumstances. These plans can also change based upon the type of plan, the risk profile, and direction of the trustees that are outside the control of the OCIO. Finally, these peer universes are highly sortable and can also be gamed to get the proverbial cleanest shirt in the dirty hamper. So be very wary of these other approaches to measuring OCIO performance. So now that you know what methods do not work, let's explore how OCIO Monitor approaches a performance fee. We measure the OCIO's value add for their key investment duties of strategic asset allocation, tactical asset allocation, and manager selection. The beauty of this method is that it works for all plan types and unique and changing client circumstances. We can also exclude legacy assets that the current OCIO may have had nothing to do with purchasing. And finally, our approach is quantitative, transparent, and verifiable. Now that you know how we measure OCIO value add, let's talk about how we're going to use it to create a custom performance fee. Again, your historic actual value add for strategic, tactical, and manager selection. But then we add custom variables, including value add smoothing, performance intervals, and fee escalators. Combining these two will deliver for you a personalized performance fee. It's not some off-the-shelf, one-size-fits-all solution. No other firm on the planet today can deliver this type of custom approach. OCIO Monitor's performance fee administration will look like this. We're going to analyze your OCIO's actual historic value add in light of your client circumstances. We're then going to perform scenario analysis with the 3 different custom variables. With this research in hand, we will sit down with both the OCIO and the Board of Trustees to find the most optimal performance fee solution. We will provide contract fee language of the performance fee, and we'll perform the analysis annually, giving you the updated performance fee based upon the agreed upon formula. Adopting a customized performance fee with OCIO Monitor has so many advantages. From a legal perspective, especially for ERISA plans, it is a proactive legal defense. Further, with greater alignment of interest, you will become a higher priority client and you'll potentially have lower fees. But the OCIO will gain attribution insights to potentially raise their fees and thus the returns for the client. Ultimately, it improves outcomes for every person sitting around the table. If you have any questions, please go to OCIOmonitor.com. We'd be happy to help.